Hey guys, Rush here. For today's video, we'll be doing a quick review of the new user interface for Fortnite Save the World. Now, spoiler alert, I think it's the best by far. Now, aside from the UI change, we'll also go over the new skill tree and research tab later on. I was browsing over social media earlier today, and the biggest question on everybody's mind apparently is where the hell's my backpack slot? And why is my power level much lower now after the update? Now we'll be addressing all of those, don't worry. We'll just breeze through the new UI before that, but if you want to skip ahead, as usual, timestamps will be on the description below. So going to the new command tab, this is where all of your people, residents, tenants, whatever you want to call them, reside. If you're not familiar with them, it is the heroes, survivors, and defenders. Now, as you can see, there is not an area dedicated to defenders, but that's only because they fall under the heroes tab as well. Now, once we go into the heroes menu, you'll see the major right away. You'll meet him in the campaign, but not sure how that works for old players. Anyway, we see various options within the heroes tab, and going over the top one, manage, as the description states, is where you can upgrade and manage your heroes. Nothing really new there, but just in case you didn't know, when you press triangle you can choose tile size and make them bigger. That's not really new with this update, I just thought you'd know if ever you didn't. Next up on the list is the hero loadout, which was the heroes menu from before. Now this is where you can mix and match the set of heroes you're going to use for the next mission, with one slight omission, I guess. The defenders tab are no longer on the right side of this one, and you'll see why next. Into the defenders slot, or defenders menu, it's pretty self-explanatory what this does. But the good news about it is that you do not have to slot them anymore under your loadout. You could choose between all of the defenders at your disposal once you're in a mission, as opposed to you being restricted to a choice of the 3 that you've had slotted beforehand. Now, yeah, the defenders menu is ultimately just where you upgrade them, similar to how you manage the heroes. Now, expeditions, nothing really changed in here. You still send out the heroes that you don't use into their own side missions and wait until they get back. With regards to unlocking the different expeditions, since our skill tree is gone now, it might, and this is me speculating, it might be available depending on your campaign progress, similar to the survivors over here. Now, jumping on to the survivors, we will be skipping over manage, because similar to the heroes manage tab, it is where you perform the upgrades on them. Not really much to see in it. But the squads, boy oh boy, the squads, this is what a lot of people tend to overlook, not knowing that this is the key to your power level spike. Now, one question that I personally had upon laying my eyes over this interface was, how do you get the survivor slots unlocked now, since the skill tree has also been revised? And seeing as I already have them all unlocked on my main account, which is this one, I decided to look into my sub account earlier to find out. And what I saw is that, similar to the hero expeditions, again, I'm speculating on this one, you can unlock them by going through the campaign. But the squads one, that's been verified by me. Once you go into your quests or your missions, then you'll be able to unlock them one by one. Just don't rush into it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily say which quests will be granting them, so take your time, just knock them out one by one, and eventually you'll be able to unlock all of these slots. Now, we'll make a video dedicated to the survivors, because as you can see down below, there is an autofill option that may mess things up for all-time players or veterans, because The autofill will be prioritizing the power levels of your survivors more so than personality match as well as bonus. Now, for new players, that may be a good way of actually introducing you into it. But veterans, again, watch out. Don't get into it without reading the whole thing, okay? For upgrades, which is the next one on our list under command, we got two menus available, the gadgets one and the tools. Focusing on the gadgets one, these are things that you can use within the mission. This is going to be a pretty bulky topic, or at least the rest of it at least. Remember the question we had earlier about the backpack slots? It's actually under tools, so you can upgrade it there, and you'll notice that you'll at least have more than what you've had prior to the patch. By the way, if I failed to mention it, this little guy right here is Kevin. So the gadgets one will be what you use within a mission, as mentioned before. Personally, I'm more of a adrenaline rush and hover turrets type of guy. I don't use the rest of them, but if I have some points to spare, then I might consider upgrading them as well later on. For tools, yeah, so this will be a spread of what the skill tree used to be. So yeah, we got here the pickaxe upgrade. What I did notice on my other account, or my sub account, is that same as before, you won't be able to upgrade it right away. You'll still need to go through the process of, you know, finishing the campaign, unlocking the maps, doing the quests and all that stuff. But once you get through it, you'll be able to get an upgraded pickaxe that will yield more resources, or at least hit harder on the higher level maps. So if ever you made a mistake in distributing your points here, don't fret. There will be a reset option down below on the bottom right. I've already used one of them just because I wasn't able to fully upgrade my build and repair speed. I thought I had more points to spare before I went wild here under gadgets. But yeah, you'll have two refunds available for this if ever you make a mistake. Now, going back to the command tab, we'll jump into research, and this is the answer to where all your power levels went. The station is manned by the man himself, Lars. It took me a while to distribute the points here on my main account because in a typical epic fashion, there's no upgrade by tens option, which by the way would be really helpful when upgrading survivors, heroes, and weapons as well. Now, anyway, going back to this, you're free to choose how you want to build up your stats. If you feel like being a run and gun type of character, you can choose to fill out the offense tree. That might be a challenge because you will be pretty squishy, but speaking of that, the what each stat tends to give you is indicated below. So for fortitude, it's health and health regen. Offense will be your weapon damage. Resistance is shield and shield regen. And for the tech, it's one of my favorite ones. It's ability damage, trap damage, and healing rate. But yeah, if you want to go guns blazing, feel free to invest in offense as much as you want. But as mentioned before, it is going to be pretty hell of a challenge because you might get one hit in the higher maps. So that's the reason why I chose to distribute it evenly, or at least as even as I could. But yeah, once you manage to fix or fill this out all the way, I failed to mention this, but the cap at the moment is actually level 120 for these stats. So once my tech reaches level 120, it will give me 600% of additional ability damage, trap damage, and healing rate, at least for tech. And yeah, it's also going to be a great contribution towards your party members, assuming that you'll have someone that's not within the same power level as you. Then yeah, you may be able to compensate for their lack of stats on their account. Anyway, The same as the upgrades, you'll also have 2 chances to reset your research points if ever you make a mistake on it, or if you just want to respec. It's up to you. Profile. It's basically your party menu and personal rewards list after leveling up. At present, I'm level 308. Once I hit level 309, then I'll get 150,000 survivor XP, which will help me get up to power level 97. Sorry if I keep jumping back and forth, but once I managed to fill out my research tab earlier, I went up from 93 before the patch, and now I'm at 96. So yeah, Epic seems to be giving this a lot of thought. Hopefully you guys don't brush them off and just diss on them because of the new menu. It seems like they've really thought this through and are giving players a better experience overall with this new user interface, regardless if they know it or not. Going back to the profile though, if ever you want to use a boost, this is the place to do it. Account boosts, I believe this one came after I purchased the Ultimate Edition or the Limited Edition, whichever one. But yeah, any party members that join you will get a bonus XP. Yeah, pretty much there's not much else to explore in here. If ever you are not in a mission, your daily bonus XP gets refilled as well, so that's another thing to consider. After this update, there has also been a catch-up reward of sorts given out by Epic for veteran players, as the new update came with new rewards for missions, as well as the collection book, of course. Now take note that if you have not seen the animation linked to this or upon logging in, then you may encounter a bug which prevents you from jumping into a mission. Now all you have to do for that one is to reset or relaunch the game and you'll be good to go. Okay? Now the rewards, just in case you're wondering, is for the profile here. So previously it never indicated what your level was. Okay, it just had that bar. It's basically a blank of what it's for, but in the past all you were getting from it were skill points that you could invest towards your skill tree, which is now converted to the upgrades. But now they've made it more elaborate, and you're gonna get survivor XP, hero XP, as well as schematic XP from it, maybe a little bit of training manuals as well. But yeah, if ever you've done anything within the collection book, then that's the same as well. They've upgraded the rewards that you get from it, so you'll be receiving a package of sorts once you log in. Now I will be cutting the video here for now, as it is getting too long. I'll try releasing part 2, which addresses the Armory, within the next 2 days, so hopefully you'll be there when it comes out. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and you have a good one now, okay?